I've got some parts here. This is stuff off of the controls. This was the connector for the aileron control cables where it hooks into the bottom of the torque tube, and it's pretty rusty. If it looks like I'll salvage it, if not we'll figure something else out. These are the cables for the rudders. These are what connect the rudders into the rudder pedals. The pin goes in here into the rudder pedal and then the cable hooks on this end. These pieces here, these go up underneath the floorboards there, and see, this is a rudder pedal here, and it goes, say this is the left one for example, and it goes here. The rudder pedal cable, rudder cable would connect into here like this. This goes down underneath the floor, up underneath against the metal tab that's welded onto the fuselage on the floor, and then this goes underneath that and hooks that on there to hold it on. These pieces, a lot of them I took apart a few years ago and sandblasted and powder coated them, and they're in pretty good shape. Powder coating is worn off here where in the foot pad, and then down here on the pivot point where it pivots, and otherwise they're in pretty good shape. Rudder pedal cables, so they're just painted, and so anyway, I'm going to sandblast all of this stuff and clean it up and powder coat it again before I put it together. I've got a few pieces here of stuff, new parts that I am going to powder coat, and I'm going to, even though these are painted that red oxide paint, these are bright and shiny. These go on the rudder cables and then back to the rudder itself to attach it. These are some of the pulley brackets here. I am going to clean those up as they're Univer parts, and I've had Univer parts before where they're all painted up nice and pretty and look good, but they don't, they're rusty underneath the paint and they're crappy underneath the paint. So rather than take a chance on them, I'm going to go ahead and clean those up and powder coat them fresh. This is my sandblasting cabinet. I built it probably 20 years ago or more out of some scrap crates, shipping crates that we got. I don't remember what even came in it now. I just kind of looked at pictures on catalogs and to get an idea of what shape it is and stuff. I've got all these pieces sandblasted, cleaned up. Powder coat didn't really want to come off of those very bad. Had to blast every one of them, the hell out of them. So these parts here that weren't sandblasted, they went pretty easy, but I had to really get down inside there to get the crud out of between them. To get those cleaned up in there, I had to do these twice. But they turned out pretty good. The rudder pedals, you know, they're going to be fine. Now this piece here was the one that was all rusted up, and I got it apart and cleaned up, but it's got some pretty deep pits in it and stuff and some embedded rust. Best thing to do with this is to replace it. I can clean it up and paint it and it'll last for a couple years, but it's going to rust. This piece here it had that red oxide paint on it, and there was some pitting in it, some rust in it that was covered up. So I want to wash these off with paint thinner, clean them up, wash them off with paint thinner, and then I'll wash them with Prep-Sol and then powder coat them. We get some of the parts all done. The rudder pedals, they're all nice and bright and shiny black again. And this is one of those new pieces. I didn't take the primer off of it. I went ahead and just powder coated over it, but it'll be fine. These little tabs here for the rudder pedals, they're real nice now, and everything looks pretty good. That's one of the new brackets there. I did sandblast that one all the way down to bare metal, and this one here was bare metal. I didn't sandblast it or anything, it's just the way it was. Anyway, everything looks pretty good. It's got a few that looks nice now. Not that it didn't look nice before, but it's all coated now. Put plugs in the holes here so I didn't have to clean those out. So anyway, that looks pretty good. It should hold up. So those parts are done. We'll be ready to take them up to the basement and start putting them on the airplane.